What's up, y'all? Brandon with BC Talks here. It's been a minute, I know, but as y'all can tell from the title, we finally have another comic book haul on the channel.
Finally!
That's right. The first haul of 2026. Now, what's funny is the books that I bought in this haul, I got them on, which I have in the package right here. I got them on a Whatnot stream last year in 2025, the week before Christmas. So technically this is 2025 haul, but if you're a longtime follower of the channel, I'm no stranger to taking months and months, from when I buy books on Whatnot to actually making a haul video. So, in comparison to those videos, this is a relatively quick haul, but it's definitely worth the wait. Trust me on that. There are some really great books in this haul that I got for some awesome deals. So, let's get in to the haul. Speaking of Whatnot, if you're not familiar, Whatnot is a live auction platform where you can buy pretty much anything that is collectible. Obviously, I use it for comics, but you could use it for Pokemon cards, coins, sneakers, pretty much anything you can collect. I've seen it on Whatnot, and I am a Whatnot seller, so if you use my link down in the description, it will take you to my storefront where you can find some of the books I've shown off in past hauls for sale. And if you use that link and it's your first time signing up, you'll get a $10 credit towards your first purchase. And we can be in a symbiotic relationship like Venom. Because if you use that $10 credit on a purchase and you buy something on Whatnot, then I'll get a $10 credit, which I actually used a $10 credit from one of y'all to purchase some of the books in this video. So you get a $10 credit to buy your own books, and I get a $10 credit to buy some books to show off on the channel and make more haul videos for y'all. So make sure you use that link down in the description to save on some comics today. All right, so I'm really excited to get into the haul. Now, like I said, I got these in a Whatnot auction the week before Christmas from a user on Whatnot named John Terry 4. So shout out to him. He had some really great books for some amazing prices. Now, part of the pricing was because some of the older books, like some of the earlier bronze or later silver books that we're gonna go over were the condition was a little bit rougher on them. But for me anyway, I don't know how y'all are, but for me, if there's like a price to condition ratio that I have, where if the price is just so low, I don't really care that much about the condition to a certain point. Obviously, I don't want a book where the cover's falling off or there's like a hole in the middle of it. But if the condition is a little so-so, I'm okay if the price is lower. And these prices were very low. You'll see as we go through the pile here. So starting off with the first book, this is the one I was most excited about, and a book that I've been looking for a long time now. Y'all know I'm a huge Superman fan if you've been following the channel for a while. And this is a cover, one of my favorite Superman covers. This is Superman 167. And as y'all can see, there is partial damage to the what is that, the right side of the cover there. It's kind of rubbed out, looks like water damage. But the main part of the cover is there you can see intact, and that's pretty much all I care about. So if you're not familiar with this book, it's Superman 167. This is the first cameo appearance of Vildox 2, a clone of Brainiac. The first appearance of Tharla, the future wife of Lex Luthor, the origin of Brainiac, and the first team-up of Lex Luthor and Brainiac. Now, like I said, this is one of my favorite Superman comic covers. One of them, not, I would say it's in the top 10 of my favorite Superman comic covers. I love this cover with Brainiac and Lex Luthor kind of debating how they're going to handle Superman, and then they have, Superman in the cage in the middle. And this book I got for $3. $3. And then $1.50 for the shipping. Now, even with the damage to the right side here, for $3, this is like a steal. This book is usually a $20 to $40 book, depending on the condition, and even lower condition books, copies like this, would be like $10, because this is a very popular and sought after cover. And also, as y'all know, James Gunn is going to be doing a Man of Tomorrow movie, which is going to be a follow up to the Superman movie. So he's doing like a Superman family series. They did a Superman movie. Supergirl's coming out this year. And then in 2027, he's doing a Man of Tomorrow movie, which is rumored to feature Brainiac. So I am hoping that we get like a hint or a nod to this moment, or maybe like, James Gunn, he's a comic book guy. I'm sure he knows of this cover, so maybe he'll like sneak a picture of this or do like this setup with Superman in a cage. We've already seen Superman in a cage in James Gunn's Superman movie, so maybe we'll get like this moment or a wink or a nod to this moment because this is just such a fun kind of, well, I don't know if it's iconic in general, but it's iconic to me, cover of Superman, with him in the cage and Lex Luthor and Brainiac there. A really great cover, one I've been looking for a while. And like I said, the price to condition ratio for $3, I will take any comic book that is an iconic cover for $3. Even with the damage, because the damage is only like on the right side there. You can't even like the cover. The good part of the cover here is fully visible, very vibrant and colorful. I love the old school Superman header there with the red and the yellow. So yeah, I really love this cover. This is a book that I've been looking for a while, and I'm happy to own it, even if the it does have some partial damage there. Now this next one is Giant Size Invaders #1. This is another one where the condition's a little bit lower. Now it's not. It doesn't have damage to the cover like the last book does. It's pretty much intact, but it does have some it's an older book, so it's got wear and tear, but uh the cover is intact and everything. Giant Size Invaders #1. This is the first official team up of the Invaders, which is a team consisting of Captain America, Bucky, Submariner, which is what Namor was called before he was called Namor, Human Torch, and Toro, who was like a little sidekick for Human Torch back in the day. He's back there. He was basically like the Human Torch's version of Bucky. He was like a little kind of Human Torch. Everybody had to have a Robin. So Captain America had Bucky and Human Torch had Toro, which Toro didn't get that much run, at least not to my knowledge. Now this is also the origin of the Golden Age Submariner. Now this book goes for around $20 or so if you check eBay sold, and I got it just like the last one. Got this for $3. Again, $3 with $2.50 in shipping. So the total, if you include the shipping, is $5.50. But even if you include the shipping, that's a great deal. And really great cover. And longtime viewers of the channel will know that I like to collect comics with like controversial imagery or content. And as y'all can see, this one has a big old swastika there on the bottom. And it also mentions Hitler on the cover as well. So they say, in the darkest of days of World War II, 5 fighting mad superheroes battle the hordes of Hitler. So this was back, people like to say, oh, keep politics out of comics. And then there's comics like this where they were literally going to fight Hitler. And there's a swastika, and they're invading Germany to stop Hitler. And as y'all know, the very first issue of Captain America was him punching Hitler in the face. So all those people that like to say, "Oh, everything's woke. Comics are woke. They're making the superhero movies woke." That's how comics started. Most of the comics from back in this day was war propaganda against the Nazis. There are so many comics of them fighting Hitler and fighting Nazis. So don't let anybody tell you that the Marvel movies are woke, because that's how Marvel started. It started woke because it used to be not controversial to fight Nazis. But I guess nowadays it's controversial if you have your characters fighting Nazis. But I like to collect the comics that have this imagery. So this is going to go in that collection. All of the invaders going to fight the Nazis and Hitler. It's a really great cover. Very vibrant, like the covers were back in the day. And a really great book to get for $3. And also, there is a chance that we could see like a wink or a nod to this team in Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars. Most of these characters we've already seen in Marvel. We've seen Namor. Obviously, we've seen Captain America and Bucky, and we've seen Human Torch. Two different Human Torches. But we haven't seen Toro. But Toro, he's like a character lost to time. He's not really a character these days anymore. But you never know. We could see this team up in probably not in Doomsday, but maybe in Secret Wars. You could, or they might have them all stand next to each other as a wink and a nod to us comic book collectors or people that know ball. Kevin Feige, he knows ball, so maybe he'll have them stand next to each other and be like, "Yeah, that's the invaders." We won't call them the invaders, but they're standing next to each other, so people that know ball know that that's the invaders. Speaking of knowing ball, this next book is another one that is a really great book for a really good price. This is Marvel Preview number 11. This is the second appearance and the origin of Star-Lord. It's also the first appearance of Jason of Sparta. This is a really like iconic Star-Lord cover. It's not his first appearance, but it's kind of like if you're a Star-Lord fan, this is like a book you want to have because I can't remember his first appearance book, but this one is like the one that people who are Star-Lord fans want because it's like, it says Star-Lord. It's got him on the cover, very vibrant cover, kind of like harkening back to the hand-painted cover days. And this one I got for $5. I paid for, and then I got $1 off with the $10 coupon, which I mentioned in the whatnot plug. I used $1 of that $10. $1 of that $10 went to this, so it's $5 total. But I got $1 off with that coupon, and this book goes from anywhere between like $15 to $25 depending on the condition. This one's in pretty good condition. It's got some spine ticks. I don't know if y'all can see. But other than that, it's in pretty good condition, and it looks really great. I love this cover. I don't own this book, so yeah, it's a cool book to have. I know a lot of people who watch the movies have been down on Star-Lord since he did what he did to Thanos and kind of destroyed the entire universe because of that. But he kind of had to do it, if they had caught Thanos right there, then there would be no saga. The saga would have ended right there, the Infinity Saga. So he had to do what he had to do to further the plot. It's not Star-Lord's fault. It's Marcus and McFeely who wrote the movie's fault. Next up, we have another I think it's a Silver Age, late Silver Age, or maybe early Bronze. This is Action Comics 360. This is a giant-sized issue featuring Supergirl and also the origin of Supergirl. And this one was free with 67-cent shipping. So I think it was $4, but this was one of the first ones I got on the stream. So the $10 went to this. Most of the $10 went to this. So I got this this was technically free because I used the $10. And I like this cover because it has Supergirl. It's very topical because the Supergirl movie is coming out this year. The Supergirl movie is based on Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which I showed that comic. If you watch my reaction to the teaser trailer, I showed that book. But so Supergirl has come a long way from these days. She's not really like she is now, like she was back then. She was basically like Superman, but a girl back in these days. But there are some cool covers, and y'all know I love a floating heads cover. I guess it's not really a floating head. Her head's not really floating because you see her body right there. But it's kind of like a floating head cover, and it's kind of like a game board. And it's got a bunch of different moments. They got Mr. Mxyzptlk down there at the bottom. You got Linda, Supergirl's immune to kryptonite. So they kind of made it in like, and you can see it says go ahead to 3. So they kind of made this in like the style of a game board. So that's cool how they did the cover. And they got Supergirl and Superman, Supergirl holding these flowers in the middle of the cover. So this is a really cool cover. It's got a lot going on. They don't really make covers like these anymore. So yeah, I really like this cover. Next up, we have, y'all know I'm a big Wonder Woman fan, and I actually own this. I have a slab of this book, but I have got this raw copy because it was a good deal. This is Wonder Woman #1 from the 1980s George Perez series. This was the series that George Perez did after the Crisis event. which we might see later. Wink, wink. Wonder Woman #1. This is the origin of Wonder Woman. The first appearance of Philippus, an Amazon captain. The first appearance of Alea, an Amazonian warrior. The reintroduction of Ares and Hippolyta. The origin of Hippolyta and Antipope. And it's also a wraparound cover, which I can show y'all. I can pop it open. Since this is a raw copy, I can actually open it and show y'all. So, it's a wraparound cover, so you can see it goes all the way around. It's like a full thing there. That's what that means. And I really love this version. This is my favorite version of Wonder Woman. If you watched the short I put out recently, which I said that basically after I saw Marty Supreme, I thought that Odessa Azion, she looks pretty much exactly with the wig that she wears, like the George Perez version of Wonder Woman. You can see her there. I really like this version of Wonder Woman. It's my favorite version of Wonder Woman. I really love George Perez, his art. He was an amazing artist. Rest in peace. He passed away in like 2022, I believe. So recently, about well, I guess 4 years ago now. Wow. But he's one of my favorite artists. And y'all know I'm collecting the New Teen Titans series that he did the pencils and art on as well. I really love that series. So I'm a big George Perez fan. I already have this one in a slab, but I got this one because it was $5, but it was technically free because this was another one that the $10 coupon went towards. It was $5, but $4.50 of that was used by the coupon, so I only paid 50 cents for the rest of it, including the shipping. So this one was basically free. So, for free, I will take this, one of my favorite books from one of my favorite artists of all time. And I have a raw copy now, not a slab. This next one is Captain America #1. This is the movie variant cover. This is not a key, but it's a cool cover, and it was $3. So $3 for this cool cover of Chris Evans as Captain America. And it's the realistic movie version cover, and the value of this varies so much on I tried to check eBay sold. Some of these have sold for like $10, but then there's other ones that have sold from between 20 to 40. So this one, the value of this kind of varies a lot, but it's definitely worth more than $3. You can see up here whoever had it originally was trying to sell it for 15. So and it's not a key, by the way. I don't know why they put that there. I guess because it's Chris Evans as Captain America from the Marvel movies, but that's not a key on key collector anyway. But yeah, this is like the price of this varies wildly, probably depending on condition. This one actually looks to be in decent condition. There's a couple of spine ticks, but it looks good though. And yeah, so for $3, I'm taking that all day. Like I said, there were some crazy deals. I hope this guy. I followed this guy. I need to turn on his notifications for the rest of his streams because he had some great deals. And now I mentioned the Crisis on Infinite Earths event earlier, and this is Crisis #1. This was as y'all may know, Crisis on Infinite Earths was a 12-issue miniseries that basically ended the DC Universe continuity from before the mid 1980s, and then they redid the continuity after that. So like I said, Wonder Woman restarted. They restarted Superman and Batman. All of them basically started because the continuity got crazy. There was just too much craziness going on in the Silver and the Golden Ages, so they had to redo it. But this one has a lot of keys because I've talked about this on the channel before, but Charlton Comics, who makes a lot of the romance comics that I've shown on the channel in the past, Charlton Comics, DC bought a lot of the Charlton Comics superhero characters. So that was like Blue Beetle, Peacemaker, who is a very popular character played by John Cena in live action now. He was a Charlton Comics character. Blue Beetle was a Charlton Comics character. So there was a lot of Charlton Comics characters that DC bought. Firestorm was another one. judo master who's in the Peacemaker series. So this is the first appearance of Blue Beetle, the Ted Cord Blue Beetle, after they got him from Charlton Comics. Also the first appearance of Pariah, first appearance of Alexander Luthor Jr., the first full appearance of the Monitor, who is a pretty big DC villain that they've done twice actually on the TV shows. Lila Michaels becomes the Harbinger, and yeah, so basically the first appearance of the Charlton Comics characters that DC got after they bought them for the Crisis event. They introduced them in Crisis, and then after the Crisis event, basically destroyed all the universes and combined them into one. They combined all those characters into the DC universe. So this is the start of that. So a really influential, and this was actually one of the highest selling comic books of all time for a time. And then I think The Death of Superman overtook it. So this was very influential comic when it came out at the time, and very important in the history of comics because it, combined, it basically redid the continuity of DC Comics. And then speaking of Crisis, we got Crisis number 4. I got these two because these are two that I don't already have. I'm trying to get all of the Crisis books. I have a few of them already, but I didn't have number 1 or number 4. Number 4 is the first appearance of Lady Quark, the first appearance of Dr. Light, who is who became a Teen Titans villain. If you watch the Teen Titans cartoon series on Cartoon Network, he was in that a lot. Also, the first appearance of Lord Vault, the second appearance of John Constantine, who's a very popular character, the third cameo of the Anti-Monitor, and the death of the Monitor. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but this one, both of these were $3. So this was $3 and this was $3. So really good deals for these books because they usually go for about 10. You can see whoever was selling them originally was selling them for 8. They usually go for around that, like about $8 to $10. So to get them for $3 each, again, a really great deal, and very influential comics in the history of comic books. This next one is Gambit number 1, and this is one I've been looking for a decent price, but I did not have until now. This is if you're a Gambit fan, you're aware of this, or an X-Men fan. This is the first appearance of or sorry, not the first appearance, the first title series featuring Gambit. So this was Gambit's first solo comic series. It's also the origin of Gambit, the first appearance of Cassandra the Benefactress, and the first team appearance of the Assassin's Guild, which is like the, if you watched the X-Men, not X-Men 97, they don't talk about it in that, but the original X-Men animated series, Gambit, he came from the Assassin's Guild. In that they talk about it, they talk about them a few times in that series. Him coming from the Assassin's Guild. So this is the first appearance of the Assassin's Guild, and this one was also $3. So this was a great book to get for $3. Good Gambit and X-Men key. And y'all know I also have a collection of the Chrome and the Chrome and embossed covers. And this one, is it embossed? It is embossed, yeah. So this is also, it's not only the gold chrome, but it's also embossed. It does have a few spine ticks, but that's fine. It's gold and embossed. So embossed just means that the lettering is raised a bit on the cover. You can't tell by looking at it, but if you felt it, you could feel the lettering is raised. And then it's got that gold chrome on it. Classic 90s comic book cover. If you ever see a comic that has like gold or silver and it's like chrome and it's like raised up off the comic, it's probably from the 90s. You can probably bet that it's from the 90s. Next on the list, or next up in the hall here, we have Star Wars Darth Vader number 1. This is a key, a pretty cool key. This is the first appearance of Black Chrysanthemum, who is a Wookiee bounty hunter. Also the first cameo appearance of Dr. Clio, and the first ongoing Darth Vader solo title series. This one was also $3. If you're not familiar with Black Chrysanthemum, he's a pretty, he's a newer character, obviously. This comic came out in 2015, so he's a newer character, but he's a pretty beloved character in the Star Wars fandom. He's basically like a black furred basically a black Wookiee like Chewbacca. So Chewbacca had brown fur. He's got like mostly black fur, and he's a really cool character. Very cool looking character, and yeah, just a cool character. One of the cooler, newer characters that Star Wars has introduced. So cool character, and y'all know I love Star Wars, so this is a cool book to have for $3 as well. And then the last one we have here is kind of topical. This is Wonder Man. Both of these, Wonder Man, this is the first issue, and then Wonder Man #2 on the back. So both of these I got for $3 for both of them. Now this is Wonder Man. It is a key, the first one. It's the first ongoing solo series featuring Wonder Man in Hollywood, and also the first appearance of Neil Sayorin, Wonder Man's agent. Now, it's not a huge key. Wonder Man's not that big of a character, although everything I've been hearing about the series that came out last month on Disney Plus, everybody loves the Wonder Man show. At least the critics and a lot of people talking online say it's a really good show. I still need to watch it. I just haven't had the time to watch it yet. But people say that the show is really good. I actually already have a copy of issue #1, so I just got issue #2. But for $3, I couldn't leave it. It's a cool cover, and Wonder Man's a cool character. And you never know, maybe Yahya, who I really like, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who plays Wonder Man in the TV show. Obviously, he's black. Wonder Man was white in the comics originally, but he's black in the show because he's played by Yahya. But maybe they'll continue Wonder Man in the future, and we'll get to see more of Wonder Man. But even though it's not a huge key, just another cool book to have for $3, and that is all the books that I got in the Whatnot haul. So that is going to do it for today's haul, the first haul of the new year. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the books I got in today's video. I thought there were some really great books for some crazy prices, getting these books for $3, $5, some of them for free with the $10 coupon, which y'all should take advantage of that link down in the description once again, because you can find some books that you'll get for free that are some great deals. But yeah, getting these books for like the most I paid for a book was like $5, and there's some crazy keys and some awesome covers that I got in this haul. I thought I got some really great deals. This was a really fun haul. Some books that I have been looking for a while, and some that have significance to me as a collector. Let me know what you thought of the haul down in the comments. Make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more comic book and pop culture talk. And I'll see y'all another day.